Welcome to the world of Diablo Immortal! Or considering thinking about playing Diablo Immortal, or you've already started, or you just kind of like don't know where to do next, or like how to use your time efficiently, or even what to do on a daily basis, like since if you're just starting, it seems like most people have a routine, or even on a weekly basis. So hoping to cover some of that today. Let me just go ahead and get this going. And we'll show you, like, you know, the general things to do. Alright, so here's my character. And I play with the controller, forgive me if you hear that. But, you know, mouse does it too. Okay, so this actually raises a really good point. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. So first things first, always collect your rare crest. They recently made it so you can do 10 runs with green crests, and that is glorious because I had like 160 and I was able to burn through enough. Enough. So you just go here, claim this, and then it's here on the map. And so if you have this, do at least 3 runs. They could be empty, you know, like they can just be empty runs. So go ahead and do that real quick, actually. An empty run, enter, and show you why. Okay. It should be relatively quickly. And then in Elder Rifts, generally speaking, skip everything. Do stuff that, if you have high enough damage, like for how the level is, you know, meant to be yours, I'd recommend just using something that does damage as you go, so you can get a good massacre going. For some reason, I have this superstition that if I don't let my massacre end, I'll get better drops. This is not backed by evidence, just coincidence. And then in the minimap in the upper right, try to make sure that you're not going towards a dead end. After enough of these, you'll generally know the layout of most of them, right? Like, it's pretty straightforward. And then I see another elite over there. Let's just go do this. And then the boss, he'll drop. Also, I like the elites because it's better XP. Like, the massacre is great XP in the first place, but I like actually picking up experience orbs. And then this guy always slaps me off my horse, so I'm just doing this. And I also get asked a lot about legendary farming. This is a good way to farm legendaries. Like, just empty rifts, great for legendaries, leveling. Honestly, as you level like beneath Paragon 600, your gear is gonna keep changing, so it doesn't really matter. And then salvage is a good habit to keep, especially if you're like me and you hoard green items and legendary items in your inventory. And then also always do bounties. If you're ever like lost on what to do next, right? Look at your codex. This, like, you need to do this on a daily basis because that's how you get your free platinum without like doing paid runs and selling the stuff from paid runs. And then do 3 dungeons a day because you just get, you know, a green item. It's great. And then your featured will help you complete the battle pass faster. Battle pass is great. If you're ever gonna buy a battle pass, honestly, you don't even have to buy a battle pass to get a 2-star gem if you're struggling to get a 2-star gem. And always collect your daily bundle. Sometimes it does good. And first kill of the day. I actually sometimes forget my first kill of the day. And then there will be, also new players, it's a good idea to join a shadow clan because there are a few things you can do. So assembly is great. Oh, and the reason we did that Elder Rift is to get this down here, a blessed chest. It contains an aspirant's key. I feel like this is one of the most overlooked things because in the sanctum, you just get buffs. They help. Like, and if you can open 1 free chest a day, you get 4 keys a day from doing the sanctum. And then it's eventually you can open enough. So my personal recommendation is opening at most 3 chests a day. if you insist on opening more than one, which is the free one, because it gives you buffs like this. And if you don't have all of these gems, click on the spot where the gem would be and it'll show you how to get it. But yeah, so these buffs are really nice, you know, like, doesn't really show, but it's great. And then shadows. Do join a shadow clan. Preferably, like, join one. Don't just start one, because it'll be established. You're more likely to succeed in the shadow war. It's just easier. And then you can see, like, when other people post dungeons that they're doing or party finding. And assembly also gives keys. That's part of why it's good to do. Gonna go over here. I like clicking from activities because it just auto navigates. It's very nice. And this way is the assembly, and I'll show you where that is. So up here, you can see these. You get keys and hilts. Oh, marks. Sorry, marks, not hilts. But you get hilts from the vault raids, which are also an integral part of being a shadow. Generally speaking, people do not go past floor 3, at least if you're like fully caught up on gear, levels, etc., your Paragon server level, all that jazz, because the last floor is almost guaranteed PvP. It's very rare that there isn't PvP. So that's that. And then you'll also want to make sure that you have done all the events. Like, you get a pre-order reward for D4. This is a market. This is honestly very gacha-y, so I'm not really doing this one. And then there's currently a recall a friend event for, like, if someone's already played. Oh, I don't have that. I was like, do I need to collect that? But this is, like, the event that you'll want to do, because you get a free legendary crest, you get free legendary stuff, and you get a pearl. Yeah. And that one more thing you want to do in West March on a daily basis, or semi-daily basis, is gambling with gold. It's basically free gambling. So you'll want to buy like maybe 10 at the most. Only really buy these two. I have yet to get a set item from this or from this. I don't believe it's changed either. But see, you can get legendaries this way. Sometimes they're not what you need, but it might be an essence you need. And I also recommend checking the hilt shop twice a day because it refreshes. So you can buy a certain amount of not legendary, but rare crests a day. And one of the things I personally recommend buying, also this. You can get this once a week. I just got more hilts recently. I always buy the simple charm. I do. Because it is way cheaper. Charms are important, right? They give you buffs. So I got 6% buff on Drawn Quarter, 4% buff on Shield Glare, 2% on Holy Damage, Conjuration of Light, 4% Sacred Fire 2. This kind of locks me into my build, though. Or at least those moves. Like, I could change my essences on my gear, but maybe not the move I'm using. So, this is a huge buff, honestly. Especially if you have like the Trail of Fire with the horse, because it counts towards that. And there's also these elite quests. Oh, and then any charms that don't end up at the very beginning, I recommend keeping any charm that is a move for your class and putting it in storage. Because you don't know what you're going to use yet. You just don't know what you're going to use yet. You haven't figured it out. Maybe there's a build you found on the internet that you're like, wow, that seems dope, but maybe you find something more that works more for you along the way. So it's good to keep, because whenever you have just a basic charm, you can upgrade it all the way, trade in 500 of the free platinum that you've been getting, and then roll on that charm. So we'll go ahead and just buy a charm or a skill stone. To do that, I'm just gonna look for one I need. So I'm gonna sort by available, price low to high. That's punish. I need holy banner. Ooh, they kind of went down in price. So it's cheaper to make your own because it's 500, whereas most skill stones are at least 1,000. So I'm going to imbue my charm. Holy banner. I swear to God, if I get it right now. I've rolled on this so many times. That will be sad. Oh, that's kind of a relief, you know? It's kind of a relief that I didn't get it just this one time. It's also more than 10 times. But if you have that, so you take your simple charm, upgrade it all the way, then extract it for 500 platinum. And then if you ever need to identify here. And then there are elite quests that or contracts. There's elite quests and contracts through being a shadow, but these are good. The side quests can be good. And for contracts, you can pick those up over here once you're a shadow. And you get rewards for doing them every week and also daily. It's usually a requirement here for the daily quests. And also within the shadow, or the Court of Whispers, there is the Path of Blood. It's been a minute since I've tried this floor, so I'll go ahead and show you. I'm actually behind. There's, at least that I know of, 100 levels. I've done them all before. Usually it requires me to change to a more defensive build because I use a very offensive build to proceed. Oh. What? I'm confused. We'll try a harder one. But you get hilts from each floor you complete. It doesn't even show here that you got the hilts. It's something you have to go collect under the shadows thing in the menu. Oh, okay. I think that's the one that killed me before. That's a little sad. But if you're lower level, you might just get stuck and you can't do this in a party, so that's where that comes in. So yeah, these are the hilts I'm talking about. Every 5 levels, you get more hilts. So that's pretty fucking great. You can save hilts. I personally like to alternate between being an immortal and being a shadow, because as an immortal, you can spend more hilts, but as a shadow, you just get more because you get it from the vault stuff. And as for farming, that's pretty much it for dailies. I didn't really cover bounties. That feels pretty straightforward. Do them. They're great. Also, they can drop legendaries. And another thing you want to make sure to get is your bestiary pages, right? So pretty much you need 10 monstrous essence to like complete this at the altar. And you can get 1 monstrous essence like every 2 minutes and it takes 40 kills. They may have changed those numbers. And I like to farm. I personally farm the fuck out of the dark woods because you get a guaranteed glowing shard. You might see an ancient elite, you might not. You might get a legendary from just like a normal little guy. But you will at least get a glowing shard, and that is required for equipment levels. And if you're farming combat rating to do like the next raid or something, every little combat rating buff counts. So here, you'd purify the corruption, and then you'd go to this tree, the tree of it. I've been saying that wrong. Yeah, I have. Inifus. The tree of Inifus, and there's always a wolf that follows you, so I just kill it. And then you just click here, and then your shadow clone spawns. You fight it. It's got like the best moveset for your class. In my opinion, it doesn't use a spinning shield, and I don't really like that. But this applies for like any class. And Library of Sultan Cool is also great. You need to be at least Hell 1 or 2. I'd have to fact check myself on that. to find pages, but once you find pages in the library, like here, you can farm. This is also farming for equipment levels, pretty much. Oh, I summoned. Well, that's good. That's one of the things you need to do for the sanctum. That's how you get one of the gems, is literally summoning and killing either the golem or the hydra. I don't remember which one. So it's gonna take a couple minutes here to come, but here, equipment levels. So this is the one I have with the highest family bonus. So it has 4 bonuses. It's more of a defensive one, but Conjuration of Light is considered a beneficial effect, so the duration of that is increased for me. So that's that. And then that allows me to equip a legendary that increases the duration of something else, because there are 2 options that I was going to use shoulder-wise, and they were just duration of different moves. And as for gems, just rank them up. You can look up what gems are best for your class, or even what build you're going for. There are tons of resources on that. I think Wowhead has a few. And just gonna get rid of this notification. But here, you'd go upgrade them. You can also craft these crests. Once you can get these Fading Embers by doing green runs. I believe empty runs too. It's just less. And purple runs or legendary runs. And then you can craft a legendary crest and do more legendary runs. So that's a pretty good way to do that. In general, never do the random legendary gem because it's not sellable and it costs the same amount. And then this is sellable. Like whatever gem you get from this is sellable. And you can also just do enough green runs to craft a 2-star if you so desire. Yeah. And then let's go to the Hydra real quick. I believe that's everything daily-wise. Oh, and so what I will get as a drop from the Hydra, even though I didn't actually open a magic portal, have to go in it, complete anything in a room, the Hydra will drop Beguiling Dust, which is needed to do the equipment level upgrades. And then you can also go to Westmarch to the blacksmith and reforge your upgrades. So that's how I got like full family bonuses. I got a ton of reforged stones by placing in PvP. And that brings me to my next thing. Even if you die over and over again, do 3 things of PvP a day. Do 3 things of PvP a day because you get experience and gear from it. And like 2 days ago, I got a legendary gear from it. You just need to, after you do your rounds of PvP, talk to the guy right in front of the area again and tap or click, depending on if you're on phone or PC, where it says 1 out of 3 or 0 out of 3 or something. And then eventually, hopefully better gear. But yeah, that's the long story short of like dailies. Oh, and I like farming the library too, because I've seen a lot of treasure goblins here. A lot of treasure goblins. And ever since they made treasure goblins drop legendaries, you hope for it sometimes. You just do. But yeah, that's everything that I personally think needs to be covered for this. You know? Because it's, feel free to like comment questions, any further questions about like daily activities in Diablo Immortal in the comments, because I might make a follow-up vid or just answer the comment. Yeah. Ow, that's good timing. I don't remember what that was for. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Feel free to pop in stream, throw questions there, but honestly, I will more likely give you a more organized answer over text. I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.